Welcome to this overview video on Virtual Optimizer Pro. Today we're going to look inside the Pivots tab on Virtual Optimizer's toolbar. Inside of the Pivots tab, any pivots that you have set up will be available to you at a glance. We'll be able to see if the pivots are powered on, the direction, the length of the system. We will be able to see any information that you have set up on these systems. If you need to add a pivot, you can choose which field you need to add to the system. Once you're inside the Add Pivot option, you can choose your farm and field. Once these are selected, it's very simple to center the pivot and to lengthen the pivot so that it fits the reality of the pivot on that field. Let me show you an example. I'm going to zoom into this pivot and I'm going to set the center point first. Now I know the center point is right there because I can physically see it, and we can be quite precise when we do this. But let's zoom out now and let's set the pivot length. There we go. That takes us right out to the edge, and our pivot is now set up inside of VO Pro. It is that simple. The rest of the information here makes it even more precise. If there's a start angle, such as if this was a wiper pivot, you would have a start and stop angle. It would create a wiper system. If you'd like to put in the access road angle, in this particular field, we have an access road at 270 degrees. And we can set that in here. There's a lot of information that you can add as you see fit. When you're all done adding the information, including all of the expensive information, simply hit the Save tab at the bottom of the page, and it will automatically save this pivot into your system. Now, having that pivot set up in here, we can see all of the information that we put into the system, including all of the pumping details and the expense that goes with that, any notes that we may have added to this pivot, which you can see here. We changed tire sizes on the end towers on May 10th of 2017. We also know all of the application parameters, the percent timer settings when we put on 1 inch of water, and the rotation time. This is all important when we start looking at variable rate irrigation. And this information, most of it, once it is set in here at one time, it doesn't have to be adjusted a lot. But if you wanted to make adjustments under the Action tab, you can edit the details and it'll take you right back to where you set up the pivot in the first place. Now, imagine that you're in your Pivots tab and you're in this particular pivot looking at the details and you wanted to edit your VRI. Very simple. Click on the Edit VRI tab. It'll take you directly to the VRI tool where you can now make adjustments very quickly. In this particular example, I have not purchased VRI, so we're going to look at that in a different video. How would I set up a pivot, edit my VRI, and then purchase VRI so that we can have it available to use at any given time throughout the season? That will be in another video. Thank you. So until next time, God bless.